And all right, we are recording, it seems. Yes, we are recording. So what's up? What's up, guys? Today, me and Everyday Horror are going to be doing a not live, I don't know why I said live, but a watch-along / commentary of Rob Zombie's Halloween from 2007. And before we jump into this, we're actually both gonna give our stances on this movie, and I actually don't know where Ryan stands on Rob Zombie's Halloween. So, Ryan, where do you stand on this movie?
Well, first off, let me just say that I'm happy to be back on your channel, talking Halloween. But as far as Halloween 2007, um when it first came out, I had mixed feelings on it. Um Rob Zombie, I didn't know much of the guy, so I was like, why not go ahead and, give it a chance. But I was like in ninth grade when this came out, and I seen the previews, and the first thing I noticed right off the bat was Michael Myers was like 7 foot tall, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of scary. But looking back on it, I was like, that was just too much. That was just too much for the Michael Myers character. But years later, looking at this movie, I appreciate it, and I think I ranked it around like 6, and I really could put it in my top 5. That's how much it grew on me. And I like the movie, and I understand how people say, hey, you showed too much of the backstory with Michael and getting bullied and all that. But honestly, I have no problem with it looking back on it. And like I said, I really like what Rob Zombie did. And Rob Zombie, um, I used to talk junk about him, but after, Blumhouse and what they did, it just makes me appreciate Rob Zombie a little bit more. Not so much of the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, but this first one, this remake, I feel like it's a borderline classic, and it's probably the best remake out of all these horror movies as far as like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw. I feel like Rob Zombie is in first place with that. So, how do you feel about this movie?
I used to despise this movie, but even as well as Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I have grown a tremendous amount of respect for this this story of Michael Myers, because I think I prefer Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 over the Blumhouse Halloween films, because the Blumhouse Halloween films are actually they're connected to the 78 film, and there's a certain kind of formula that 78 film had that these Blumhouse films don't have. Well, the Rob Zombie films, they're not a part of that original series, and this is a completely different interpretation of Michael Myers. And Rob Zombie kind of went out here and made his own thing, and while I don't particularly love it, I respect it a lot more than I did when I first saw it, and I respect it even more. His entire story, part 1 and part 2, more than I do the Blumhouse Halloween films. And that's actually saying a lot, because I believe that Rob Zombie is overhated now, looking at it, ever since the Blumhouse films. And as far as the first film itself, I hate the first 45 minutes of this movie. After that first 45 minutes, it's smooth sailing for me. I can get through it. So I don't hate Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I don't particularly love it. But I have a respect for this film as well as his sequel. That's kind of how
And
I feel about it.
and one thing I want to add is another thing that made me appreciate this film is watching the 4 hour documentary behind the scenes and just seeing how hands-on Rob Zombie was and how he treated his actors and stuff. So, that made me like this film that much more too.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, Rob, he went he went above and beyond to make this movie feel genuine and make it feel like there's some kind of atmosphere to it, whereas the Blumhouse Halloween films they feel more like manufactured trash. This movie here, you can see within that documentary that Rob Zombie went out of his way in this movie to try to make it the best he could make it, and definitely treated the actors well. I did see the 4 hour documentary, and it was really good, really good.
Absolutely.
Yes, it really was. So I guess we can go ahead and start the movie. But there is one thing I want to say. This is a commentary, so feel free to add any kind of input on anything throughout the film.
Oh,
Uh,
I definitely will.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't feel free or feel free rather. Excuse me. Oh yeah. I guess we can go ahead and jump into it. I guess I'll count us in.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Hit play.
I don't even know what version this is that I'm playing,
I've
but
got the R-rated cut, but it doesn't matter. It's still the same movie anyway.
yeah. So what are you seeing on your screen right now?
Michael Myers is grabbing a mouse.
Okay, okay, I got you. I got you.
And then here's where we get into that just iconic breakfast scene.
You know, I actually look forward to this every time I watch this movie. People hate this character, but I like him because I don't know, it's just something I enjoy about this.
I mean, you know, it. I see what Rob's trying to do with this scene, but to me, it's almost too overboard. Like this, yeah, he just starts screaming. He's gonna skull. You know
If
what?
it, yeah, if anything, the baby was too much. All that crying and stuff, that was a lot going on.
Yeah. I think the way I would have done this though is I think I would have added some more subtlety. So instead of it being loud and abrasive like this, I would have had it to where maybe there were subtle hints that Michael was being abused or his sister was being abused, and I don't know, he just lays it on really thick with this, like, I almost dare I say white trash. It just, to me, I don't know. It doesn't really sit well with me in a Halloween movie. I appreciate that it's a different take, but like I don't understand Rob. Like all the women in his movies barely have clothes on throughout the entire. I just don't know what it is with Rob and white trash and
Yeah, it does seem like he has a fascination with, a certain type of woman, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
and even with the men, long hair, they look a certain way.
yeah, and they all use the F word every other sentence.
See, it was just a lot going on. There was a lot of noise going on during that scene.
I remember sitting and watching this in theaters and thinking that this was something about this was just off.
I like his character though. It just seemed like he's strung out, on taking pills, and he just don't care no more. He just want a free place to stay, and Michael Myers' mom is just, need that man in her life.
Oh yeah. And I think this is definitely one of Sherry Moon Zombie's better performances.
I don't have a problem with her. I know a lot of people say that, why Rob Zombie always got to put her in the movies and stuff, but
I don't have that much of an issue with her either.
she don't overact, and I heard people say that she overact, but I never seen it.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about this is it doesn't really tell you when it takes place. Like,
Yeah, I
I,
heard people try to say it took place in the mid '90s, and I don't know.
that car that just drove by looked like it was out of the '70s, and I mean, the guy Michael's wearing a Kiss shirt, and they were a very popular rock band back in the '70s, and these kids are dressed up. They look like they're from the '70s. think that
Well,
this
yeah,
part of the movie
I was,
take place in the 70s.
yeah. So it took place in the 70s. So when Michael broke out of Smith Grove, that was what, late 80s, early 90s, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it seems like, but in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, I don't. There's a part where Laurie pulls out a phone, and it looks like a late 2000s phone. So I'm really confused with the timeline on this movie. Maybe this part of the movie doesn't take place in the 90s, or in the 70s. Maybe it does take place in the 90s, and the second half of the movie maybe it takes place in the 2000s. I don't know. They don't really specify.
You know, this bathroom scene, I felt it was a little bit over the top
Oh yeah,
because it just seems like a corny way of bullying somebody, like with the jokes and all that.
yeah. Very corny way, and then them just all fighting in the bathroom. That's just so juvenile. I mean, I know we're kids and like looks like high school or something, but I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me either.
I didn't like the actor though. I didn't like little Michael Myers. I
I didn't.
wasn't a fan of him.
I was not a fan of him either. Now, I don't have an issue with Malcolm McDowell as Loomis. I actually thought he's pretty good.
Yeah, he what kept this movie alive, really.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as Donald Pleasance by any means,
Oh
but
no, nah. Well, he
I
was
thought he.
swagged out. He was swagged out right here. He did a great job though.
Yeah, he did really, and I like.
Really, all the actors did a great job.
Yeah, it's funny how she denies that her son has a problem when the principal literally pulls out a bag with a dead cat in it out of his school bag.
Yeah, she was in denial.
Well, yeah. I would just at that point I would think like, okay, something weird's going on here, but I've never been in that position, so maybe I don't know, but I always thought it was weird.
You know, it should have been well, I know Rob Zombie wasn't gonna do this, but it would have been an interesting twist instead of being the focus on Judith Myers. Michael Myers just would have killed his mom in that fashion.
That would have been different.
And I think it'll work the same way, but it'll have more impact. Like he killed his mom instead of his sister.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Now I do like this scene where the Spy Kids bully, uh, that's the kid from Spy Kids. I think so. I do like this scene where he's walking home from school and Michael is stalking him. So I'm a big fan of the stalking with Michael Myers. I do like that they use the stalking. I don't know why he'd walk home through the woods, but
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like, I felt like, was that realistic getting beat by, a stick, a big old stick. Well, that's a lamb, but I just felt like that could have been, he could have used something else. He could have had a knife in his back pocket or some scissors or something that just, stabbed him or whatever.
yeah.
But
Or
yeah, it do look like it's in the 70s. From the bikes I'm looking at, them old school bikes.
it really does look like the 70s. I mean, I could see somebody killing somebody, just beating them to absolute death with that looks like a limb. I mean, I like this kill. It's really vicious. But my problem with it is that it takes away from the impact of Michael killing the boyfriend, the mom's boyfriend, and then his sister and her sister's boyfriend, because that should have been his first kills and not the
Yeah.
stupid bully.
And you know what? Like, Something else that could have worked real good if Michael never would have showed his face. He always had that clown mask on. He was expelled from school or homeschooled, and you never really seen him interact with bullies or anything like that. He just was in his household interacting with his family. That might have worked better and won people over instead of him being in school and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the color tint that Rob Zombie went with this movie.
Yeah, everything feels kind of bright. I like that for this style.
Well, except for like the last 30 minutes, like it was too dark and I couldn't see nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's killing this kid for sure. Uh, he's killing that Spy Kids, that curly-headed Spy Kids kid. I never saw the Spy Kids movie, so I don't know, but I know that kid's in it.
Oh
And
yeah, I never seen it. One thing I don't understand about a lot of people put stock in Michael Myers wearing a clown mask, but I don't think it's a big deal.
I don't think it is either. And people say what you will about the dialogue in this movie. I'd rather listen to the dialogue in this movie than the Shakespearean type of dialogue that in the new Halloween films, where it's almost just nobody talks like that. Like nobody calls their grandma. They don't call them grandmother or
I know, right? It's
these
just
new
like
film.
I just don't understand why nobody just didn't stop them and just be like, hold up. Like John Carpenter would be like, hold up, we got to switch this around some type of way.
Well, if you remember when they first announced the 2018 movie, Danny McBride and David Gordon Green said that they were going to completely change the ending of the original the original film, and John Carpenter stepped in and said, "Hey, you probably don't need to do that."
Yeah, I remember them saying that. And yeah, his stepdad just Ronnie, I think that's his name.
Yeah,
The
it's
dude
Ronnie.
just his life is just boring. He got nothing going for himself.
He seems like one of those lazy people that just sits around and drinks alcohol all day.
Yeah, he just a bum, and I think he played that part right.
Yeah. Well, I like the actor that plays him. He's in other good movies too.
He kind of looked like Rob Zombie in this movie.
He does. All the guys do for whatever reason. They all have long hair or they have long beards. I know Rob Zombie was kind of going for like a grindhouse exploitation kind of movie, so I guess that kind of fits his style. And it wouldn't be a Rob Zombie movie if it didn't have his wife almost naked.
Yeah, that's true. I like this music choice though.
Yeah, that's by a rock band from the '70s called, I think, Nazareth. I think that's the name of the band. My dad, who's into all that kind of stuff, knows who these guys are.
Oh, okay. I know whenever I hear this song, I think of Rob Zombie. you know, so
That's where I first heard this song too. Maybe it was too much to make her a stripper. It's like, I don't know. It's just Rob really goes all out with the white trash.
Yeah. I think it should have been something more to make Michael click and like, you know, okay, I'm gonna go up here and kill this dude. It should have been something more intense that made him put on that mask and go up there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of,
Yeah,
okay, I'm lonely, I don't have nobody to trick or treat with.
yeah. And it's like no wonder, and these people are such assholes to him. No wonder why he goes off and kills them. I mean, it's a surprise Michael didn't just kill himself. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah, that would have made more sense.
yeah, but it's no surprise whatsoever that Michael goes crazy. It's like, of course, but then see, from the problem I have with that is there's no mystery around Michael. It's like he grows up in this white house, or this white trash household, and yeah, he there's even implications to, at least I found there to be implications of sexual abuse coming from the stepdad. There's those implications, like those very subtle implications.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'm just looking too much into it, but regardless, it's no wonder Michael kills everybody. That just kind of takes away from the mystique. It's too predictable. It would have been better if it was a normal house with maybe subtle hints of abuse and all that, and then Michael just snaps one day.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about the mask in this movie? I like it.
I
Well, I
love it.
like the first iteration of it, the pure white mask. I don't like it when it's all rotten and dirty, but I
I
feel like they
prefer.
got it right.
I think the rotten and dirty version is, and the wear and tear version in this movie is better than the 2018 and Kills movie to me. I like the Rob Zombie mask. I even like the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 mask a lot. I know it looks a lot different, but I just like the way it looks. It looks cool to me.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
Like it Rob Zombie, he kind of puts his own stamp on the mask, because again, he's not creating a succession to a film in the original series, so he doesn't have to pay as much loyalty to that original film. He kind of makes it his own, and I do like the mask a lot in both Halloweens that he did. That's probably my favorite thing about his two Halloween movies is the masks.
How do you think Tyler Mane did in both of these movies?
Oh, he's an animal. He's just he's lethal in these movies. And like I'm a bit of a purist and whatnot, so I like the original intent of Michael Myers. But for this storyline, this take, I think the more human, animalistic Michael Myers works for this story, and I don't have an issue with it.
I feel like they really nailed it. They they didn't make them supernatural, but they did, if you get what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
it was more believable than what they did with Blumhouse, what they doing.
yeah. This feels more real. Like I don't know. To me, This feels real.
Yeah, cause Tyler Mane, I mean the Michael Myers is 7 foot tall, big, strong. So you know all that wear and tear, he can survive that. And plus, he's not 60 years old.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get up for just a second, man. I'll be back in just a second.
Are you good?
Now, how much of a moron do you have to be to have sex with somebody's daughter and then come down in the kitchen and make a sandwich with their food.
I know, right? But it's back in the 70s, so people was living more free and doing all that.
Oh, that's true. And Michael seems to be living free by bashing this moron in the head with a baseball bat. Which this is my favorite, actually my favorite kill in the movie involving child Michael Myers. I love this kill. It's so brutal.
Yeah, I like it because once he hit him upside the head, his feet start shaking. Like it looked realistic.
Yeah. That's actually one of my favorite kills in the franchise. The entire Halloween franchise.
But just imagine that though.
Yeah,
Like he
it's
went to
wild.
twitching. Like I like that how they showed his feet and
Yeah, almost like he's having a seizure.
this definitely was a gory movie.
Oh yeah, it's very extreme.
A lot of people said that about Halloween Kills, but I didn't really see that with Halloween Kills.
No, you know what I didn't find it brutal either. I found it just very big and studioized, and I didn't believe the kills. Like I didn't believe the kill where Michael kicks the door and the nurse chick shoots herself in the head. I didn't believe that, but I believe the kills, and not just this movie, but the second Rob Zombie Halloween movie. I believe the kills a lot more. They feel more realistic. Like they're
Yeah.
brutal. They're brutal, and no, they're not exactly creative kills, but they they're brutal and effective because they feel like they could happen in real life. That's just my opinion on it. Now I think he looks a little silly with that shirt on, with the Michael Myers mask on.
Yeah, that mask was way too big, swallowing his head. But when I seen that in the previews, I was like, "Oh, I got to see this!" Like, cause I was interested at that point. Um, him with that white mask, and I was like, "Okay, they got something." Now, how do you feel about Michael? What you think he was doing when he was feeling on her like that? Like he was just acting like her boyfriend, or you think he was just really trying to feel on her?
I I personally, and this may be a little out there, I think that's one of these implications that there might be some kind of incestuous activity going on, because but I don't know, that could be just me looking too much into it, because it's just really weird that he would go up there and start uh, feeling up his sister essentially. It's just a little weird that Michael as a 10-year-old kid would be doing that. But man, like I said, maybe I'm looking too much into it.
And look, he let her walk in the hallway, and he walked behind her, so that means she had to get up and walk past him. you
Yeah,
know, that didn't make sense.
yeah, that is weird. I doubt that Michael Myers would have let her walk past her or past him.
Now this, this is frightening. He got a Michael Myers mask on with, and he's small.
I think it's kind of. I think he looks kind of funny with the mask on.
I get what you're saying, but when you watching the trailer, back in the day as a ninth grader, you like, hey, what the world is going on? I want to see how this happened.
Yeah,
But yeah, that didn't make too much sense. He could have did that in the bedroom, had her, crawling or whatever.
yeah,
And
definitely.
stabbed her in the back, but I don't know what was that about.
It was a very weird creative choice. I don't know. Judging by these cars, it looks like it takes place in the 70s. So that would mean that the second half probably takes place in like the early 90s.
I think that would be a creative, new take on the Halloween franchise.
Yeah, I even though I even though I think that I don't agree with some of the creative decisions Rob Zombie made with these movies, I still find these movies to be more creative than the new ones. The new ones, I don't have any creativity. That's all just nostalgia bait. I like that Rob Zombie doesn't use a lot of nostalgia bait. Like, he gives some nods to the original, but his entire movie doesn't rely on that, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't rely on the nostalgia. I like this scene here where Sherry Moon's just freaking out. I like this part. It's pretty real.
Yeah. She did a great job.
I don't think she's that bad of an actress. A lot of people say she's terrible. I don't think she's that bad. She does good in this movie.
See, yeah, I like how she they had a white sheet over Judith, and she ran up and just snatched it off. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that she would actually do that.
You know what the real thing is? I think people feel like she was still in the spotlight or had too much, dialogue and too much on-screen time rather than Michael Myers. But she fits the story for what Rob Zombie was telling.
Yeah.
But with the white horse stuff, it kind of lost me with that.
I know a lot
Even
of
though even though it's a symbolism, but it kind of throws Halloween fans off.
I get that I get what it does, but you also have to factor in that Michael's just straight up insane. Like, he is this version of Michael is completely out of his mind. So to me, there's some level of believability that he would start seeing senseless things like that. But like I said, that's just me. Now, see, this is where the movie kind of drags, is this whole scene in the asylum.
Yeah, the Smith Grove stuff. Yeah.
I never really once wondered what Loomis and Michael's conversations were like. It's really, like, I never cared.
Yeah, I know a lot of people always talking about they want to see what happened at Smith Grove during the downtime and all that, but that don't excite me either.
Nah, I'm not into it. The only part of this movie I kind of like is the remake part of this movie. It's the only part of this movie I'm kind of all right with.
That's what I don't understand why Halloween 2018 we're doing these same old shots like, the the girl looking out the window, seeing Michael Myers standing there and then, walking down the street with the friends. We see this in Halloween 2017. So it's just like, why not come up with something new?
Yeah. They don't want to come up with anything new. They just want to throw Michael Myers into it and make money off of it.
That's why I like, Rob Zombie. He was like, I'm gonna do what I want to do with this. I'm not gonna be pressured by anyone or um try to impress John Carpenter or whatever. I'm gonna do it how I want to do it.
Yeah. But also with this movie, Rob, if you really listen to what he says, he was really restricted with this movie because he had to owe so much to the original movie that if they had given him complete creative control, what we got in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 would have been what we got from this movie as well. But
Yeah.
the studio kind of had to tell him that he has to make it feel like Halloween a little. That's why Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because they gave him full creative control. That's why it felt so different.
I don't know why they would give him a real fork to eat with.
Yeah, they're not going to give him. They're not going to give him real silverware in a mental institution. They give him plastic silverware.
And I thought it was pretty cool too that Michael, grew up and he killed, I guess one of his best friends at Smith Grove. Well,
Yeah,
not best friends, but a person that we thought, that was gonna have a connection to.
Yeah, it just shows that Michael doesn't have any boundaries. That's why when I uploaded I had some people get mad in my comments. I uploaded my Michael Myers ranked. I ranked all the Michael Myers, the portrayals, and they got mad because I put James Jude Courtney in the bottom half, and I put Tyler Maines in my top half, and people got mad, and I don't know why. I just like Tyler Maine.
You know the fanboy is gonna fanboy and come after you.
Oh yeah. I've been getting a lot of that here over the last few days.
Do you think Michael Myers viewed Dr. Loomis as a father figure in this one?
I I think he kind of has some respect for Dr. Loomis, and I kind of felt like that in the original series too. That Michael has some kind of respect for Dr. Loomis. I think just overall the character has a respect for the Dr. Loomis in
Yeah,
general,
yeah,
not even just
yeah.
in this movie.
I agree with that because like even in Halloween 5, he didn't really want to kill. He didn't even really try to kill him. He slashed him, but it wasn't enough to kill him. And I felt like it was a mind control thing that Dr. Loomis had on him.
Yeah, because you think about it, like in Halloween 2, Michael didn't just go all out and stab Dr. Loomis in the face. He at the end of the movie, he just kind of gave him a little prick, like
Yeah,
a little nick. And part 4, he could have just annihilated Dr. Loomis, but all he did was just throw him through a window. Didn't try to kill him or anything. And then in 5, again, he never tried to kill Dr. Loomis. So I just always kind of think there's that bond between Dr. Loomis and Michael. And I think Michael, even though he's pure evil, he kind of has a certain amount of respect for Dr. Loomis. And I think that works in this movie as well, because he doesn't just go all out and try to kill Dr. Loomis. I don't if I may be remembering it wrong, but if I remember correctly, he didn't try to kill Dr. Loomis. At least or at least tried to get him out of his way. Like if Michael, you notice that throughout the series, Michael never tries to kill Dr. Loomis. He just does what he can to get him out of his way. That's the way I see it.
exactly.
So here comes the nurse with Michael and his actual silverware that they would never ever give people in a mental institution. See, in my version, she just says "cute baby." He doesn't say there's no. She doesn't say there's no way that he's related to you. And I'm glad that they did that in the R-rated cut that part out, because then it makes Michael feel more like Michael, because all she did was just say "cute baby," and then Michael kills her for no reason. Where in the uncut version, she says couldn't be related to you, and then you kind of think, well, she was kind of asking for that, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I thought that was a little bit overboard anyway. We were saying that was random.
Yeah. I still don't believe that they would ever have Michael give him an actual fork. And I don't know why. I don't know why the stupid nurse turned her back, like literally turned her back completely to Michael with a metal fork in his hand, knowing what he's done. That's bad writing, if you ask me. I do like this kind of tableau kind of thing that they're doing, and Sherry Moon's freaking out. I like this scene.
Yeah, she's stressed out.
Now she realizes she has nothing at this point, which is, I think, where she kills herself.
That was a serious, that was good storytelling,
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie dragged during this part.
I think we're in the part where he. The one thing I don't understand, I like how big Michael is, but I don't believe he would have got that big. I mean, like, what were they feeding him in this? Like, they must have been feeding him pretty good in this asylum.
Yeah, because how old was he at this point? What,
He,
21?
yeah, he'd have been in his 20s. Yeah. I actually met the guy that played this Michael.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember I went to this horror convention in Nashville and he was there. And I came back to my hometown, and the next day I went to my gym, and it was a Planet Fitness. And I guess he was coming through this town that I live in, which is outside of Nashville. And he went into the same Planet Fitness as I did. And I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, you remember me from yesterday?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man." And then he got on the treadmill with me, and he walked for about 5 minutes and then left the gym and got and then just drove away. It was a kind of a funny experience, but yeah, no, I met this guy, and he was a wrestler too. I don't know if you knew that either.
Yeah, yeah, I heard that he was a wrestler, Tyler, man. He looks awful now though, as far as like how he walk and how his legs. Yeah,
The wrestling will do that to you.
yeah. It just seemed like he didn't take good care of himself. But at the same time, when you're 7 foot like that, your joints and your
Yeah.
bones, it just it's only so much it can take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could have cut a lot of this stuff out.
Yeah, there's a lot of fat, not enough steak, if you know what I mean. See, this is my problem with this Dr. Loomis, though. Like, Malcolm McDowell does such a good job in this movie, but it almost feels like, in a way, that, like, I believe he cares about Michael, but I feel like he's also using him to sell books, too, because they touch more up on that in the second movie. But he's given a lecture here at this college or this school or whatever this is, trying to sell his book. So it's like, it's almost like he's sensationalizing Michael's life to make a profit off of it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. He did say that in the second one.
Yeah. I think this is the part where he escapes. Now, I know in the version I'm watching, he beats up the security guards and kills them, but I know in the uncut version, there's that rape scene that really didn't need to be in the movie.
Yeah, I think I'm at the rape scene right now. I think
Oh,
these two guys.
you're
So
watching the
whatever.
uncut version.
Yeah. So
So yes, yeah, guys, our version. He's watching the version with the rape scene in it, and I'm watching the version with the where he kills the security guards.
what part you at now?
They're getting ready. In my version, I'm watching the R-rated version. In my version, they're getting ready to transport Michael Myers. Where I think in your version, they go in there and try to rape that girl in a cell, which was stupid to put that in there.
Yeah.
I do like the security guard escape better than the rape scene.
Yeah, that was just too much.
Yeah. So I think Rob Zombie could do a good Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. I think his
Yeah.
style would fit Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Or Terrifier or something like that.
Oh yeah. This is where Michael's gonna start freaking out and killing the security guards. They shouldn't have taken his. In my version, they shouldn't have taken their hands off of him. And they all have shotguns too. Like,
I know, right?
she just ripped that lady's throat out. Holy shit. That was brutal. See, I think this movie in particular is more gruesome than Halloween Kills.
Yeah, by far.
I don't know what everybody was talking about. Like I was expecting like balls to the wall, gruesome out of gruesomeness out of Halloween Kills, and I felt really underwhelmed. I was like, the Rob Zombie movies were more gruesome than this. But those fanboys, man, they have such recency bias where they just have to love everything that's new. But you think about it, here in about 10 years, they're gonna forget all about the Blumhouse trilogy, and then
Yep.
some new Halloween universe will be created, and then they'll say how that's the greatest thing ever.
They gonna find a new director and they gonna fall in love with him.
Hmm. It's funny how you can crap on the Rob Zombie Halloween movies with the fanboys. They'll say that those are bad, but they won't acknowledge that the 2018 and Kills movies are bad.
I know. And you know, they hypocrites.
They are hypocrites. I've had a few of them comment here lately, and that's fine. I want them to know that they're hypocrites. I even put a video up the other day of H2O, why I thought it was better than 2018, and some dude got all mad in my comments and asked me what kind of drugs I'm on, and it's like, you can like the new movies, but I'm giving my honest opinion. I'm not sugarcoating it like all these big Halloween YouTubers do. You know, the ones with the thumbnail and they got the thumbnail with them and they got their hands on their cheeks and they got the Michael Myers, but you know the type I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Or they're smiling and they upload the video on the same thing 3 times a day, trying to get that revenue.
Man, I swear some every time I can go on my YouTube page right now and scroll down and there's somebody live talking about Scream 6
Oh yeah,
and
Halloween
Halloween
ends.
and Halloween ends and I'm like, dude, like relax. What more can you talk about?
So these people will sit and watch that before they ever sit and watch our videos.
Yeah, man, you know, it's just the way it is.
They're looking for the YouTubers confirmation to like Halloween Ends. They don't actually like the movies. They're just looking for that confirmation. See, this is really hard to watch. Like, that guy was good to Michael. and Michael's just showing him no respect whatsoever.
Yeah, that show that ruthless side of him.
Yeah. They did this scene really well, in my opinion. He's going to take that TV off and bash his head in with it. Yep. That's so hardcore. I know we're getting up to the scene where Michael gets his coveralls, but don't you think it's funny how every time he kills somebody and takes their coveralls, they're always in his size? Like, he never kills anybody and they're too small for him. It's always in the right size.
I know, right?
I think this is one of the best scenes in the movie coming up.
Joe Grizzly.
Joe Grizzly. Wow, those feet are nasty.
Yeah, even when he seen those feet, he should have just been like, "I'ma just chill out."
You know, I think after him saying that, I probably wouldn't want his coveralls afterwards.
Yeah, ain't no telling what he done did in them in that long drive. But I like how he had that knife ready though.
Yeah.
He could have stabbed Michael in the foot. I wonder how that would have happened.
Yeah, he could have just done that. And this Michael Myers is ruthless.
Joe Grizzly might have could have had him if he would have, not did all that talking in the beginning.
Yeah. He'd have been able to beat Michael probably. Because this Michael's not all that supernatural. He doesn't have all that supernatural strength. He's just big.
Now, see, I like the scenery of, Haddonfield. This looks like Halloween for real.
Yeah. That I agree with. I do like that.
We definitely didn't get that in Halloween 2018.
Nope. But that's the true sequel to the first film that everybody loves so much.
Now this woman right here, who is this actor?
She
That
was
old.
she was the mom in Cujo, and I think she was the mom in E.T. as well.
Okay. Did she have something to do with Black Christmas also?
Huh? What's she? I wonder. I'm gonna look her up. I think her name's like Dee Dee or Dee Dee something. Hang on. Let me
D
look up.
D Wallace. D Wallace.
Dee Wallace. Yeah.
I know. Everybody keep talking about her, but I never really knew what she was famous for.
She was in The Hills Have Eyes, the original. She was in Critters. She's going to be in the new Monsters, which that looks absolutely terrible. She's in a few Rob Zombie movies like Lords of Salem. I'm looking at it. I don't. Huh. Yeah, she's been in quite a few movies. Oh, she was in The Frighteners, too. See, this feels more like Halloween than 2018 and Kills.
Yeah,
That looks a lot more like Haddonfield.
yeah, they shot Halloween 2018 in my neck of the woods, so I could tell and see everything. I
Yeah.
got pine trees and all kind of stuff. I'm just like, and then they filmed it in January, so everything was brown and dead.
Yeah, that's the worst time to film a Halloween movie.
Why they can't get it right and just film it in October or late November? And why do they always do that? Like it can't be that of much of an inconvenience to do that.
It's because it's just not a lot of thinking going on. So here's a plot hole here. How did he get the mask under there?
I know, right?
He would have had to have tore the wood up, but the wood is still good. But that's neither here nor there. I do like the way the mask looks.
And I doubt that house would have been abandoned that long because that was a pretty decent house at the time. I guess somebody would have just remodeled it.
Yeah.
It ain't like the 1978 when where that house looked at just awful.
Yeah.
Now with all those murders in that house, you mean to tell me they ain't do no investigation? I don't know.
That's what I figured they would have done.
The murder weapon.
Yeah. Wouldn't have been buried underneath the floorboards. I mean, what did Michael do? Tear up the floorboards, put it down there, and then run out to Lowe's real quick and put down new wood? I
I
doubt
know.
that. I think it's kind of creepy that Michael's standing right on the other side of that door.
Yeah, it took me a long time to no, that's a scene later on in the movie where he was standing on like the top of the porch, and it took me a while to understand that or see that.
Yeah. No, I don't like the kid that plays Tommy Doyle in this movie. I really don't like that kid. I like the kid from the original better.
Yeah. How you think Scout Taylor Compton did in this movie?
You know, there's elements of her that I like more than Jamie Lee Curtis.
And this was her first movie, right?
One of her first, yeah.
Yeah, she did great.
I agree.
I don't know about in your version, but I just noticed this. Michael picked up the mail and smelled it.
Yeah, that's not in my version of the movie, but I know the scene you're talking about.
Oh my god! I just now that was weird.
Yeah. I don't know why he chose to do that. I think it's cool they brought Danielle Harris back, though. I think if they are, even though I don't want them to continue Halloween, I think they should try to do something with Danielle Harris.
It's coming, and they're gonna bring back Ellie Cornell too. It's coming.
Well, she died, didn't she?
No, I'm talking about Halloween 4. I think they're gonna do something. They're gonna scratch 5 off, of course. So I feel like they're gonna do something.
Oh,
But Danielle getting kind of up in age too, and I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, she is getting up there in age. See, the way everybody's dressed here, this looks like the early 2000s.
Yeah, and I seen a Mustang. It looked like a 1998 to like a 2002 Mustang.
Yeah.
So
I do like the girl that plays Linda.
what is she known for playing it? She looked familiar.
She was in uh I've seen her in a few movies, and I think she's wrote children's books too. But I like her. I don't like her as much as PJ Souls, but I think she as that her character, she's a little bit more foul mouthed than PJ Souls Linda, but
She looked like her daughter, really, in real life.
yeah. See, here we go with the stalking. I like when they make Michael Myers stalk.
Yeah, yeah.
There is none of that in the new films. I swear that's got to be the 2000s. That car looks like something out of the 2000s.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then there's no way that the first half of the movie was in the 70s. See, that's what confuses me about this movie.
Oh, maybe he just went with that style and thought it would be cool. I just seen somebody with uh a tape player with the headphones,
Yeah,
a cassette player. That's what it is, cassette.
yeah.
And that definitely wasn't. I mean, I guess some people could have it in the early 2000s, 2001 maybe, but CD players was a big thing back then.
Yeah, I remember that. The CD players. And then they came out with MP3 players not long after.
Yeah, that
Or they got.
faded away real quick.
Yeah, it did.
But this group of girls are more realistic than almost all of them that done did this role,
Yeah,
even from the original.
I agree. I'd say I don't know about if it's more realistic than the original, but it is definitely more realistic than the Allison and her friends in the 2018 movie, where they literally had to get so meta about it and have the one guy ask, "Wasn't it her brother that was in there?" She's like, "No, that's just something that a bunch of people made up." It's like, really? But they feel more real in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, this whole cast had a real connection. I felt like off screen and on screen.
Yeah. The acting's not as stiff in this movie.
See, Danielle Harris, she looked, like in her 20s right here. Maybe she was in her 20s, but like from what I see right now, she aged a lot.
Yeah. And here's the second sex scene of the movie. We got one more to go. Wouldn't be a Rob Zombie movie without it.
Right.
I like that he chooses to kill Linda and her boyfriend first. And I like how they decide to party in the Myers house for a change.
But yeah, I think that scene just passed. I'm trying to catch up to you. Where Michael was just standing on the balcony.
Yeah.
Like it took me a minute to notice that, like when they actually went into the house. Now that was a creepy shot.
Yeah. I can pause it for just a second. I don't think there's all that much difference for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, like as soon as they like go in the house and then they pan up and show Michael. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would they go in? That's what I don't understand either. Like, teenage people, why they you can find other places to do what you gotta do than
Yeah, I mean,
go
I
to a
think,
hotel, a park, or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. That just
well, like I know in the original they did it in the house that Annie was supposed to be babysitting in, and I mean they kind of run the risk of getting caught that way. But if you're sneaking into an old abandoned house that nobody has stepped foot in for like 15 years, then maybe it makes sense for them to want to go and get it on in there. Except, apparently, according to the dialogue, that's something they do on an annual basis. But this time, I guess Michael Myers is kind of third wheeling it a little this year.
yeah, but at the same time he got that van and they can
They could have
I
done it
don't
in
know.
the back of the van, yeah. And they got the. I don't understand why they didn't bring the cooler of beer inside. It's like, why would you not just brought the beer inside? It's in a cooler with ice in it. What? It's not like it's gonna just melt the minute it goes upstairs in this house.
Exactly.
And I like how it's funny. She's on the phone after she just let a dude climax inside of her. She's now calling up her friend saying, "Do you think I'm a slut?" I just think that's kind of funny. This random dude.
I know.
But yeah, no, I don't understand. I feel like the beer was just kept in the van just to get Bob to have to leave the room. Wherein in the original, they put the beer in the refrigerator, so that makes sense to keep beer in the refrigerator. But
Well, they could have switched it up. He could have been like, I need a cigarette now. Dang, I forgot my lighter in the
yeah,
van.
yeah, but it's like you're not going to put beer in a cooler just to keep it in the van when you're trying to screw around and then have to walk all the way outside just to get a beer from the cooler. You're going to take the whole cooler of beer up there because you don't want to have to keep going down to get more. That's my thing. I do like the kill of Bob. It's just like the original. It's a nice nod to the original, except it's just a little more violent.
Yeah, this definitely early 2000s. She had a cell phone,
Yeah,
flip phone.
yeah, that's right. That'd have been 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Rob Zombie did his thing on that, killing Bob right there.
yeah.
I like how he did that.
I like how this one actually comes back with the beer. Where in the original he didn't come back up with the beer. I like how this one actually did come up with the beer and try to hand it to her.
And I like how he didn't overdo the head tilt. It almost wasn't a head tilt.
Yeah.
Now she should have known that wasn't her boyfriend or whatever.
Well, to be truthful, they were about the same size.
True, but I'm pretty sure Michael got a certain smell on him too.
Yeah, but at the same time, that other guy looks like he hasn't showered in a while. Just to
So
be
what?
fair,
So what did I say about her?
she must be easy. I don't think they could have cut the scene out with the gun store. Also, this guy's like some hillbilly redneck selling guns. This is supposed to take place in Illinois. That's further up north. That's not the South. Like if this took place in the South, I could believe that. Because I've been in gun stores that have people like that, but I don't know if that's how it is up north. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. Even when I think of up north, I don't even think of gun stores for some reason.
No, because they don't have as many gun owners up there as they do down here. But I just find it hard to believe that there'd be a guy like that trying to sell guns that talks in a really thick Southern accent in Illinois. That's my thing.
Yeah, and another thing, like with the new Halloween, like as far as like how they depict, Haddonfield, like I always thought Haddonfield was a real small town, like maybe 5,000 people. But in Halloween Kills, all those people at the hospital, and then Halloween 2018, when they was at the dinner scene, and Karen that went outside and did that stupid dialogue or whatever, it was cars flying by. Like I don't know. They say Haddonfield is small, but it just seemed like they try to make it huge.
Yeah. Honestly, when it took place at the hospital, that just reminded me of something that a place I would go right outside the city of Nashville, which Nashville is the big city that's close to me. So it just felt like something like I've visited people in the hospital in Nashville, and that's what it felt like because these hospitals are right outside of Nashville, and that's just what it felt like. It didn't feel like a small town with a community of people that seem to know each other. It felt like a bigger city once you got in
Yeah.
outside the neighborhoods. Yeah, I like this scene with the foster parents a lot. This is actually one of my other favorite kills in the franchise. I just love how brutal this is.
I like how they kept the red car. I didn't know they, you know, kept that detail.
The red,
I'm probably a little bit behind, but
yeah, the red car. Now the red car. Oh, we're talking about Annie's car from the original.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That was a nice attention to detail. A nice piece of detail that they put. That is pretty. I never noticed that. I noticed it. I never really caught on to that she's driving a red car. That's interesting.
Yeah, Dee Wallace, her character, she was so shook she didn't know whether to scream or fight or what.
Well, I don't think she'd been winning that fight. I just like how cold this is. This, even though it's out of character for Michael Myers to pick up somebody and throw her through a glass table, it's still just the whole intent of this is cold like Michael Myers would be normally. So I do like that. It's just this Michael's a little bit takes it a little far at times, but I do like this part a lot. It's just so cold.
Yeah, he a beast. He broke her neck. Man, I can't stand all that face paint stuff, man, that Tommy Doyle got on. I can't stand when people paint their face like that.
It looks stupid. He doesn't even look like a ghost. He looks like a Dalmatian. See, I like this part. Michael stalking Annie outside of the house. I do like that little nod to the original. You don't get any of that in 2018 in Kills, but you get it here. I guess I'll take it where I can get it at this point. And that's one thing about the new Halloween movies is that they're making me really question how I felt about the past movies after the original film. So it's made me appreciate 2 through Resurrection, and it's made me appreciate the 2 Rob Zombie ones more now that these new films have come out. So I like how Michael's watching the movie with her. It's almost like because he never got to finish the movie, this is kind of his chance to finish the movie.
Yeah.
He never got to see how it ended. Yes, she did.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but if Lindsay Wallace would have turned around and seen that standing behind her, she might have just died on the spot.
Yeah, I don't even think Michael would have had to kill her. I don't think she would have died of a heart attack or something.
Yeah.
She's arguing with Annie, saying that she didn't tell her to put her coat on, even though she did. I clearly heard her say, "Put your coat on."
See, I like the decorations that they went with. Just plaster, on windows and stuff like that. They did a great job with that.
Yeah, it helps add to that Halloween atmosphere. So yeah, like they're talking here and they're standing outside of this hamburger place. They got,
Yeah, Haddonfield Charborough burgers.
yeah, like outside of the hamburger place, and like the outside tables, and they've got like jack o' lanterns, they've got like skeletons, spider webs,
Yeah,
Halloween
that's
lights.
exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and honestly, in the new films, if I didn't know that they were called Halloween and they didn't have Michael Myers in them, I wouldn't know that they took place on Halloween. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, I know. Just like I think when Karen had took his mask and Michael was walking, looked like Christmas lights.
They did. It was like Halloween, the Christmas special. Oh my god, this dialogue. I thought you said Ben Tramer was retarded. Yeah, but he's not short bus retarded. Like, oh, it's so cringy. got Michael stalking again, which it's always welcome.
Yeah, and he blending right in. Like
Yeah,
that was a nice shot. Like
yeah. That was a nice shot. That is so cool. That shot, man. Rob Zombie knows how to direct horror.
yeah, like that moonlight just shining on him. You don't even see the front. You just that was hard.
That feels like Michael Myers, where he blends in with them in the moonlight shining. That feels like Halloween.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched this movie, and I'm picking up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen this movie in a few years. See, I don't like this where Donald or Dr. Loomis Malcolm McDowell starts copying everything that Donald Pleasant said word for word in the speech.
Yeah. Looking back on it, this was an all-star cast.
Oh yeah, it's like a horror alumni. Like you got Chucky, you got plays Chucky, and then you got the lady there from Cujo. You've got Malcolm McDowell who was in Clockwork Orange, and Bill Moseley from Texas Chainsaw 2, and
Danielle Harris.
from the other Halloween movies, yeah. And Ken Faree from the Joe Grizzly from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. You had him. It's like horror alumni, this movie is. I like that this bracket is more quick to believe Loomis than the bracket in the original. I like the bracket in the original better, but I do like for a change that this one is more quick to believe Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, yeah. He already knows something up when it went to voicemail.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, he looked stressed out even before all this Michael Myers stuff. Looked like he had some personal stuff going on.
Maybe he's going through a divorce or something.
It looked like it.
You don't see his wife in Halloween too. Here we go with the third sex scene of the movie. Another one.
Yeah, it only should have been one.
Yeah. That cool shot of Michael in the background. I like that. I like that you see her boyfriend in this movie too.
Did you think Danielle Harris said she had to go through the whole process of, casting and all that, just like a regular actor. Do you think that's true, or do you think Rob Zombie was like, "Nah, we gonna have her. We're just gonna make her go through the process like everybody else."
I would think that they probably would have just given some leeway for Danielle Harris. Like I think they would have just let her. I don't know. Maybe she went through a normal audition, and maybe her experience of being in a Halloween two other Halloween was she in two? She wasn't in Halloween 6, wasn't she?
Nah, she wasn't.
She wasn't. No, that was that other lady. But maybe it was just her experience of being in a Halloween movie that got her considered to be in this movie.
I like how the door shut and the music stop and everything get quiet.
Yeah.
He bitch slapped her.
If you watch, I know you're a little behind me, but when Michael starts dragging Annie, you'll notice that they stole that shot and put it in 2018 when he kills Vicky. If you watch real closely, you'll see that they stole that shot in Halloween 2018.
Oh, that is right. That is right. And he gonna stab her. Yeah, yeah.
Just the scene of the close up with the mask where he's dragging her away in 2018. That I think now I just realized that's where they stole that from this Halloween movie.
And also in Halloween Rob Zombies 2, you know how Ray got killed in Halloween 2018
Yeah,
with somebody I guess he choked them out or something. They did that in Halloween 2, I think, somewhere.
yeah, the cop that was supposed to be watching Annie. Or
Yeah, and but not that many people pointed that out.
no. Man, that girl's got a really annoying scream.
Yeah. Hey, to be honest, I think Danny McBride loved Rob Zombie's Halloween movies. I think he loved both of them.
Oh, I think so too. And to be truthful, I think they would have done the brother sister storyline in this new series if John Carpenter. They just didn't. They were just worried about disappointing John Carpenter. At least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that's cool. Michael's hiding behind the door. That's cool. I like that a lot. See, Rob did make Michael scary again. He did it in some unconventional ways, but at least he made Michael scary again.
Yeah, yeah. It's is that the same exact house from the original? When
Uh,
Lori was walking across the street, Scout Taylor Company.
that may
It
have been.
it looked like it. Yeah, it's some great stalking scenes in this movie.
Oh yeah. See, I like the dynamic with this as well. I like the stalking, but also like the this Michael doesn't seem like he's as hell bent on killing Lori. It almost feels like he's just trying to, in Michael Myers' way, trying to let her know that they're related.
Yeah,
Like
it's
he's not
almost
trying.
like he trying to persuade her, hey, he,
Yeah,
he like he almost want to say, hey, people on this earth are not good people. Join my side and do what I do,
yeah,
and I'm gonna protect you.
yeah. But Lori doesn't understand that they're not related. And quite frankly, if I had a distant relative and they were coming at me with a mask and a butcher knife, I probably wouldn't think much of that either. But it's almost like Michael killed the foster parents. It's almost like Michael's kind of looking out for Lori in a very unconventional way. Like he kills her friends and the foster parents because maybe he doesn't like the way the foster parents are raising her, and he doesn't like that her friends have a bad influence on her. That's what that could possibly be with this new movie, or not new movie, this Halloween movie.
Yeah,
Because you notice he doesn't ever try to stab her. Now, just saying, he just busted through that door. You just saw him completely tear that door in half. Now, what makes you think that locking a glass door is going to stop that Michael from busting that door down?
Yeah, that would have traumatized them kids for life.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, they would have been traumatized like Lori was seeing that as a little child.
Yeah.
Ain't no way they would be able to recover from that.
Oh, no. Definitely not. So that's what I think. Like in the original film, his whole like he takes swings at Lori with the knife. In this, he doesn't try to kill Lori. So that just makes me think that maybe he's trying to he's this whole time he's trying to convey to her that that's her older brother and that his life is a disaster. I don't know. That maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Yeah, Michael a beast. Man, I'm liking this movie more and more the more I watch it, cause I haven't really watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
I probably seen this movie probably about 5 times in its entirety. So
I think this is about my sixth time seeing it. I'm liking it better than 2018.
oh yeah, I definitely do.
Man, this video is probably gonna piss off a lot of fanboys, and that's fine. I don't care. Because you're already controversial in the Halloween community, and I'm kind of gaining that status now.
and it's sad because all you're doing is speaking your opinion.
Hmm. Oh, it's like that in the Star Wars community too. Even the Star Wars community is worse than the Halloween community.
I've heard that. I never even watched Star Wars, and one day I said I was just gonna sit down and watch, from start to finish, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to invest my time in all that.
Don't watch anything past the sixth one if you choose to. Don't watch the Disney ones. Don't watch them. They're bad. They're like the 20. They're like the new Halloween movies of the Star Wars franchise.
Oh dang.
Yeah, Linda looks like she's dead. Yeah, she's dead. I like the way the Judith Myers tombstone looks in this one. It's a cross instead of just a plain tombstone.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought that was a little bit too gothic. Gothic.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Nah.
Oh man, I kind of did.
Yeah, I think they overdid it with Daniel Harris not having any clothes on in this movie.
Yeah, so you had yeah, that's so true because in the first one you had little Jenny from Forrest Gump naked, then you had Linda naked, and then you have Danielle Harris naked. So now this part here where he's showing her the picture, Michael, he seems to have some human thought process here. He should have just pointed at the baby in the picture and then pointed at Lori to try to tell her that that's her. Then maybe she would have got it. But he just shows her the picture. It's like, this is just a picture. I don't know who these people are. But if he had pointed at the baby and then pointed at her,
Yeah.
maybe she would have caught on.
Yeah, he shouldn't have took that mask off.
No, he shouldn't have.
And then slumped over. He
Hey, look,
slumped over like Halloween-5 in the jail cell.
yeah. I don't know what that is she's got, if it's some kind of chisel or something, but it's just very convenient that that's right there.
And Michael just let her stab her.
Yeah.
She could have kept stabbing him instead of knowing that she can't get out.
Yeah. I wouldn't have tried to have stabbed him. Especially if he's being submissive. He sat there next to you with his mask took off, so he's in a submissive state. Picking up a knife and stabbing him with it is probably not in your best interest, unless you stab him directly in the face. But I don't know.
That was a nice little jump scare. He loved busting through them walls.
Yeah, it's almost like the Hulk. Like I said, it's not from a purist. I like Michael in his purest form, but I can appreciate this from a different perspective of Michael Myers.
it just remind me how much go into production, like behind the scenes, how much stuff they had to build and do all that.
Yeah. And this definitely, as compared to 2018 and Kills, where they don't even feel like they're real places. They feel like, I know that they're most of the time not on a soundstage. I know that the Myers house and all that was on a soundstage, but they feel so fake that, I don't know, this movie feels like it's got some level of quality to it. Like, it feels like it's being filmed in a real place, because it is being filmed in a real place. But
Exactly.
where the new films, they just feel so over polished and produced.
Yeah, like um, it just feel like the camera angles and everything like that. Like they trying to not to show you certain elements of this because hey, we got a screen over here, and you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
like when you shooting outside and everything is set up how it's supposed to be, you can tell a lot went into this budget. And Blumhouse, you know, they do everything cheap.
Yeah, cheap and fast.
And they said, what some of the YouTubers kept saying, oh, they got a big budget with this Halloween Kills movie.
$10
But
million is not that much.
$10 million is chump change in Hollywood for a movie.
Yeah. Well,
And really, Halloween doesn't even need a budget.
it doesn't. Now let's see how much this Halloween movie had. What was its budget? So its budget, Halloween 2007, Rob Zombie, uh, budget. This was
Probably.
made $15 million, so that's only $5 more million than what Halloween Kills was made for, or 2018, whichever one was $10 million.
Wow, 15 million for this?
Yeah, and this they just did a lot more with this movie than they did in 2018.
That's crazy if you think about it. From like all the stuff back, like from what we seen from behind the scenes, like that's very little.
Yeah,
And this is a long movie.
yeah. I mean, that's an almost 2-hour movie.
Now this jump scare right here is super loud.
Oh, the one where he busts the window open.
Yeah, yeah, that was. Dr. Loomis said, "What the
She just screams, "What the hell?" I wonder if that was just a blooper and they left it in there by mistake.
hell?"
But no, like the fact that they made this movie feel authentic and genuine for just $15 million versus the cheap artificial crap that they made with 2018 and Kills. It just, I don't know. I just don't like these. I don't like the new movies.
What's your opinion on like how much they spend on marketing? Like, I'll be listening to Dave McCrae sometimes, and he always talk about, usually marketing, as far as like making a profit off these movies, like you got to make, I guess, double the amount to, break even or whatever. But I don't find that true
No, that's not true.
because like he'll say like Halloween 2018 made how much in the box office? Like 250 mil.
Yeah, 250 million, which I think
And
the most Halloween movies ever made in the
yeah,
box
yeah.
office.
But basically, he basically be saying like movies be spending well for Halloween, for instance, like the marketing and all that. It probably spent like 80 million on marketing. I don't believe that.
Me neither.
And like I heard him say that a couple of times, like with movies and stuff like that. Like they breaking even and all that. Like he was talking about the Marvel movies or whatever, like Avengers, one of those movies, and he was like, yeah, it did 1 billion, but they spent 500 million on marketing, and I'm like, that don't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. Now I'm sure the budget for those Avengers movies are, through the roof, and they
Yeah,
made
yeah, yeah, the
billions of
budget,
dollars.
but not the
Not the
marketing
marketing,
though.
yeah, not the marketing. Like 500, 700 million on marketing, really? Like, I don't know. That just doesn't sound right. Just something about that feels fishy. And these people with their sources, like, I don't know, these sources that people have, or
Yeah, yeah, man, I don't understand it.
I don't
They
either.
and if I was Universal or Blumhouse or anybody associated with this Halloween trilogy, it's somebody in that small little group that's giving this information to somebody. Like, you can almost like pick and choose who giving out the information in the room.
Yeah,
It's probably not none of the actors, but somebody on the inside maybe. You can eliminate who you think it is that's giving away this information.
yeah. I mean, I don't even understand how Halloween Ends got leaked.
Yeah, well, you talking about the script or?
The trailer, because I
Oh
remember.
yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
But these people and their sources, I have a feeling that somehow connects to how all this shit gets leaked.
Yeah, I said that in one of my videos. I like people they anticipate when a trailer's supposed to come out or give hints on when it's supposed to come out. So that just rile people up and get them worked up and just I don't know. It put them in a frenzy to hurry up and put the trailer out.
I saw people saying like, "Oh my god, I can't wait! I literally can't wait to see it." And it's like you couldn't wait another couple hours. And then when I saw the leaked thing, people were like, "Thank you for putting this up. I couldn't wait any longer." It's like you could have waited.
Yeah, I didn't even know it came out that night. I woke up that morning before work and I seen it. And I was like, okay, it came out. I thought it came out like at 12 o'clock that night, but it came out, they said around like 10 something.
Yeah,
And I woke up the next day with a whole bunch of Halloween videos in my feed.
I wasn't even impressed with what I saw in the trailer.
No, I didn't like it. Like I said, they said they was gonna eliminate all the Easter eggs, but
Yeah.
the first thing we see is Laurie Strode dressed up in 1978 attire.
Mm-hmm. So I like how this version of Michael, he picks up that beam and he just starts beating up the ceiling, trying to get her to come out.
Oh yeah, ruthless.
Yeah.
I will say at this point we have like seen too much of Michael.
Are we talking about in Rob Zombie's the Rob Zombie Halloween?
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh
seems
yeah,
like I'm seeing him too much.
yeah. I've always said that Michael works best in small doses. I guess for this version of Michael, it works, but I do agree we do see too much of him, and he's grunting and stuff like that too.
Does he run in this movie?
I think he does. I think he sprints.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's when he gonna tackle her. I think.
Yeah, and they go flying off the porch because she stands up, and then Michael's standing right there in the doorway. Yeah, Michael runs. Yep.
And you know what? This movie did fairly well in the box office.
Yeah, I think at the time it was the most successful in the office since the original. It may have been more successful in the box office than the original.
And you want me, this movie probably would have did real great around Halloween, but it came out in August, I think. But
Yeah, I remember.
um, people got to factor in that too. If Blumhouse didn't put these movies out during Halloween, they wouldn't perform the way they do, because the high school teenagers are the ones who go out and see that movie during Halloween.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I found it weird. He released Rob Zombie released Halloween 2 as well in August, because I remember when I went to go see the Friday the 13th remake in theaters, and I came out and I saw the poster for Halloween 2 in the hallway of the movie theater, and it said like August 25th or something like that on it. It's like, man, that's like almost a month and a half before Halloween.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder, was it a strategy to that or something? I don't know.
It's not like
But
it came.
really, with Blumhouse, they only got like a two week window during Halloween, because after that, it's gonna fall off.
Yeah, nobody's gonna go see a Halloween movie on November 1st.
And I think Black Adam comes out around that time too, so
Yeah.
it's a little competition going on.
Well, it's like last year Halloween Kills came out the same weekend as Venom Let There Be Carnage, I think is the
Oh
name of
yeah,
the.
yeah. I was so happy. I thought Venom was gonna come out the same day as Halloween, and them fanboys were so scared. They was like, you
Yeah,
know,
well, them fanboys are just like those fanboys say they keep going back to the whole box office thing. Oh, well, Halloween Kills made this much at the box office, and I was like, that doesn't mean it was a good movie. That just means it means a bunch of people went to go see it.
exactly. That's what I don't understand. They love to go to that. That's they go to box office numbers.
Box office numbers. I say I didn't like Halloween Kills. Oh, well, yeah, but it made this much at the box office. That doesn't mean anything.
I really don't even know how much Halloween Kills really made, because I'm an old school guy, man. I like even with when people sell albums or whatever, I like to see the physical stuff. I don't like all this streaming stuff, because that stuff be fabricated and you can't really count it.
Yeah, like I don't like with an album. I don't care how many sales they got on iTunes. I care about how many CDs or cassettes or vinyl records they sell.
Yeah, that's how I look at it, because people, you can listen to a song, I, I guess one song off the album. Okay, I don't know how they do it. But if you buy an album, you just buy the whole album. But I don't know how they do it, but it messed up the game, and I don't really, put that much stock in, like when people do the streaming and Spotify and stuff like that. I don't count those as real numbers.
No, that's not real numbers. That's not helping the artist out either. But let's
They
see.
get more money off of it though, for real. But yeah, I don't like it. But this Halloween 2007, man, I like it. It's been a while since I watched it, and I really enjoyed it.
I had more fun with it this time than I have in my previous time watching it. But I still my problems with it are still there. And like I said, I'm a kind of a purist. I like Michael in his truest form, but compared to what we're getting now, this I might even title the video was Rob Zombie's Halloween really that bad? I might even put that in the title because I didn't think it was as bad this time around.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
It had its moments, but to be truthful, I would I might even watch this on Halloween before I watch Halloween Ends.
See, with Rob Zombie, I don't know. I can't watch his movies during Halloween. It just doesn't click for me.
I think it's because you're so used to watching like the original run of Halloween movies.
Yeah, I try to watch I try to watch 1 through 5 every Halloween, and usually I'll be tapped out like in the middle of Halloween 2, 1981. I'll be like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But I would be satisfied with just watching, Halloween 1978, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5. But
Yeah,
um,
I'd even watch Halloween 6.
yeah, Halloween 6, I try to watch that separate. I love that movie.
I like things. I used to trash on the sequel. I like things about 6. I used to trash on all the sequels, but like I keep saying, ever since we're getting these new Halloween movies and they've not been really good, it's kind of changing my perception of how I view 2 and 4 and 5 and 6. And I've always kind of had a little bit of love for H2O, but a lot of people hate that one. But
I love H2O.
yeah, definitely. But my big thing is now, okay, we've sat and watched Rob Zombie's Halloween, and it's even got me thinking more now that these new movies are coming out and they're not that great. I keep asking myself, was I really too hard on these older Halloween movies? And I think I may have been a little too harsh because everything I wanted in 2018 wasn't in the movie. The atmosphere, the stalking, all that stuff, and it wasn't in the movie. But
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people are. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, like it was new stalking scenes. Like it wasn't, a replica of 1978. It was, new stuff that, Rob Zombie came up with. So I like that.
Yeah, Rob Zombie. I mean, he's a very creative filmmaker. I will give him that. But he can't write a script that well. I will take that away from Rob Zombie, but the way he directs scenes, and if I'm not mistaken, he does all the camera work by himself. Whereas some guys will get a cinematographer to use the camera. I think Rob Zombie does all the camera stuff himself, and he does really good at it.
Oh yeah, that's dope. I didn't know that.
I'm not 100% sure. I from what I've gathered, Rob Zombie does his own camera work.
Now I know he was very hands on with that 2000, like that documentary I seen. He was drawing stuff like I'm surprised his brain didn't explode. With all what he had going on.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That was I was very surprised when I saw that documentary how much work Rob Zombie put into it, especially for how restricted he was from doing his own thing. Which some people would probably think Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was a prime example of why he shouldn't have been able to do his own thing. But he's a hard worker. He's a hard worker with movies. And that's not what I think I respect about Rob Zombie is that he works for, even though some of his movies aren't fantastic, he's a really hard worker. But another thing about Rob Zombie that may rub people the wrong way is that he doesn't care what you think about his movie. Like he released that Munsters trailer and people were saying it looks bad, and Rob Zombie's probably just saying to himself, "I don't care."
Yeah, yeah, that's what I like about him because like with David Gordon Green and all these people associated with it, even like Christopher Nelson or whatever. They get so butt hurt when somebody criticizes their movie or
Yeah,
do this or do that. They just I know Christopher Nelson. He made a comment. He was like, just I'm paraphrasing, but he was just like, just shut up and enjoy the movie. Like we can't have criticisms or whatever.
yeah. God forbid anybody criticize it, and Rob Zombie doesn't care if you criticize his movie. He's like, it doesn't matter. It's my movie, and it's the movie I made. And I don't understand why David Gordon Green can't be like that, or the rest of the people that are involved. It's if you don't like. That's where I think the fanboyism comes in from, because these people that are involved in the movie get all ass hurt because they don't because people aren't liking their movies, and that's where the fanboys kind of, I think, that gets fostered into the fanboyism.
And I think a lot, like they said they had this whole trilogy planned out, but switched two movies. Well, I don't know about Halloween Kills. I don't know if they really switched the storyline with it, but I know with Halloween Ends, they went in and tweaked it and did the 4 years later and all that. And I'm like, if you're confident in your idea, why not just stick with it?
They just better hope that what they have is better than what they had before. And from my understanding, they say, "Oh yeah, the whole thing was planned." From my understanding, 2018 was supposed to be just a one-off. It
Yeah, that's
wasn't.
what they said. One last battle and all that. And now they
They,
trying to say the same thing with this.
they even marketed that. I remember watching like the local news, and the lady was all like, "This is Laurie Strode's final confrontation with her antagonist, her antagonizer, Michael Myers." And then here we are, about to put out a third movie in a three-movie trilogy.
I
So
don't I don't I don't think Michael Myers is gonna be in this movie at all.
it doesn't. Well,
Well, I don't know. He might, but it just I don't know, man. It's just like the promotional picture. I think on my last thumbnail I had like with Lori bent over and him about to stab her or whatever he's doing. That looked like it looked like a cock diesel Michael Myers. Like he looked a little thick, and the mask doesn't even really look like the same exact mask. But I just find it hard to believe that this Corey guy is gonna have the strength to kill Michael Myers and take his jumpsuit and all that. I don't know. The whole situation is just stupid.
I agree, and I don't even like the idea of this copycat killer.
Yeah, I don't like that either because they're stealing ideas, and it's something that we read on paper, but do we really want to see this? Like I feel like they're gonna try to do, the Halloween 4 that John Carpenter was, trying to do, and then the H2O with the copycat killer that never came to fruition. But I just feel like they got themselves in a bind with not having the sister brother storyline, and now they're trying to figure out, hey, what can we do to spice things up? And like I said in one of my videos, man, the Halloween franchise is all about family at the end of the day, and that's what drives it.
Yeah, I mean it adds more to the storyline. I mean, personally, I didn't like the way they just shoehorned it in Halloween 2. Like I said, like they weren't related in part 1, and like there was no mention of them being related. And I just like to watch part 1 on its own and pretend like the others don't exist. But from in just like looking at the franchise in a vacuum, it does make more sense for Michael and Laurie to have conflict if they are related after the first movie, because it doesn't make sense that because they're not related, Michael is still fighting with Laurie. So that doesn't make as much sense now that they're not related.
Yeah, and well, one thing I will say I'm happy about Halloween is Allison. She doesn't look like she's gonna be like the powerhouse that everybody was assuming that she was gonna be.
Oh no. I was wanting them to do something with her, but I don't think they're going to.
It's too late.
It is too late. They should
Or
they sh- they should have been doing that in Halloween Kills.
Yeah, if they was gonna do that, do that with Halloween Kills, I just feel like the older audience doesn't know about Allison. What I'm talking about, like, people that know the original, they gonna look like, who's this Allison girl? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I saw that clip in the trailer of her screaming, and I wonder if they're going to kill Lori early in the movie.
I don't think they can kill her earlier in the movie because I they can't do that because we don't wait 44 years. You know, those two got to be the last.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a whole bunch of clickbait with this whole teaser or whatever. But they gave us the plot synopsis down in the description, so
Or
they can't
because
yeah, they can't false advertise about that.
this Corey Cunningham thing, and that's who people think is going to be the copycat killer. And they keep saying I that it's going to be Christine. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen John Carpenter's Christine, but it's the
Yeah, I've seen
movie.
it.
Well, I find it awful. Here's what I find funny is that I hear a lot of people saying that this Corey Cunningham guy is going down the wrong path, and maybe he starts getting these ideas in his head to dress up like Michael Myers. And what's funny about it is that his last name is Cunningham, and what was Arnie's last name in Christine? Cunningham.
Yeah.
So that is a little weird, and I don't know if I particularly like that idea of just having somebody else dressed up as Michael Myers, because when you see Michael open that door with Jamie Lee standing on the other side with the gun, you see that, like in the 2018 movie, that when they had the fight inside the house where Michael's on the other side of the door, and then Jamie Lee blows his fingers off with the shotgun that blew his pinky and his other finger there off. Well, now Michael has all his fingers, so that made me suspect that may not actually be Michael.
Yeah, it got the fans talking, and I don't even know. Like I said, like why would Michael be in Laurie Strode's presence yet again?
Yeah, that's my thing. Maybe this Corey Cunningham guy is gonna go find Michael and try to lead him to Laurie. But at the same time, that's the same thing that Dr. Sartain did.
Yeah, and then I don't know, man. And then still in the storyline from Christine, and
I don't know. I really don't know where they're going with this
have you
movie.
heard about the standing ovation at the test screen? All these lies.
I don't think that's real. I saw Jimmy Champagne put a video out about that. I haven't watched it yet, but I don't.
These fanboys want it to succeed so bad, and I feel like they done got themselves in a hole that they can't dig out. I think this movie is gonna suck regardless.
Yeah, I don't believe for one second that this movie got a standing ovation. I think it's just fanboys making shit up. But of course, now you got every single YouTuber and their mother and their dogs and cats making videos about these standing ovations, and it's
Yeah, man, it just I don't know. They booking on Halloween so much that I I don't know. They got to have a second plan because these Halloween YouTubers gonna get ghosts for a minute.
oh yeah. And I mean, what the hell are they gonna do when Halloween Ends comes out and there's no more Halloween movies coming out for a while? Like, you know, then you're gonna start seeing a bunch of Scream videos or a bunch
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
Texas
Scream update.
Chainsaw Massacre videos. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing a bunch of that, and or Freddy and Jason videos. But nobody's gonna watch them because they've built their entire subscriber base on strictly Halloween. Because you notice these YouTubers, right? What I've noticed is that they'll make a video about Halloween and it'll get all the views in the world. But then they make a video about Star Wars, or they make a video about Marvel or DC or Harry Potter or something,
Yep,
and
that's
they don't get it.
exactly what happened to like Phantom Empire. They built their whole channel off Halloween, and they try to do a lot of things, but you know they subscribers just focus on Halloween.
Yeah,
I think they hurt themselves in the long run with that one.
well, that's where greed gets you.
And the
And
sources, they one of the ones who always claim they got the sources and everything right, but
every time I've seen where these people and their sources, that they're always wrong. The only person that's been right is Dave McCrae. He
yeah,
was
he been right.
So that's why I trust Dave McCrae a little bit more than the rest of these guys. I don't have anything. Some of these guys I do have things against, but I don't have anything really against Dave McCrae personally.
Yeah, like I said, Dave McCrae, he's one of the best Halloween YouTubers out here. Like I listen to him all the time. And like I don't have no ill will towards him or whatever. It's just like since I guess people don't really know each other on the internet or whatever. So when you talk about them in a video, they feel like they're personally attacked. But like I talk to my homeboys this way. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if he doing something, I'm gonna call him out on it. Be like, man, you ain't supposed to do it. Man, you lying about it, man. You didn't get that girl number, man. You need to stop that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's how I feel, but they don't take it that way when I call them out.
No, and that's where I think everything I remember you criticized Dave McCrae's coverage on Halloween Kills, and it wasn't even Dave. Dave was kind of the one telling people that he didn't think you were trolling him, but these fanboys saw that video and they right away started, oh, this guy's trolling us, all because you said that Dave should have admitted that Halloween Kills was bad from the get go.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. And in the video, I had to go back and listen, but I think I said, he one of the best YouTubers, Halloween YouTubers out here. I listen to him all the time or whatever. And I said he just disappointed me with this, and I just feel like maybe the it's me Billy. I was saying that he don't want to upset his fan base because he don't want to lose subscribers because he got it's me Billy 2 coming up or whatever, and maybe he felt some type of way about that. But I didn't know he was gonna make a whole video on. I think he watched my videos with certain stuff I got to say. I think a lot of them do, but they just don't say it. But I don't know. I just feel like he felt like it was a little bit truth to what I was saying. That's why he had to respond and make a over a 10-minute video about it.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying, and now he's kind of came out and said he just doesn't like Halloween Kills, or he wasn't a
Yeah,
huge fan of it, and he
yeah,
should
he'll
just say
say
that.
that. He'll roll that right off the tongue easily. Like he'll like, Halloween Kills was a bad movie. But when I watched this live stream with Lewis and Lewis, I don't even know this dude, but I think a couple of days after the test screen, he was like, Lewis was giving Halloween Kills the business, and Dave McCrae was like trying to boost the movie up a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know, something is very off about that.
Yeah, it's not like Cody Leach, where Cody Leach just came out and said after he watched the movie that he was really disappointed with Halloween Kills, and
Yeah,
that
and you know what? Like I watched Cody Leach, and I replied in his comments, and I was like, "Thank you for being truthful, unlike these other Halloween YouTubers." And he was basically agreeing with me in the comment section when he replied. And I also did that with I don't even know the dude's name, the channel name, the dude that's gonna do that Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
oh,
The
Cecil,
same
Cecil.
Yeah, and I said the same thing with him because they said they didn't like it, and he responded. He was like, "Yeah, man, we try to be truthful and everything like that." So, and I thought those two was gonna be the ones who liked the movie, but you know, so I make the video about Halloween YouTube's not being truthful, and then
See,
I just
that's how I was at first. I was trying to kind of be cautious about what I said, but then I don't know. I started seeing your videos, and then I started seeing some of the stuff that the Myers fan, 25 put out, and then I'm like, maybe I owe it to my subscribers to be honest. And then I put that video out where I just was like, look, how I feel about 2018 and Kills, what I've said in the past is not really how I feel. And I stated that I was afraid of the backlash. I'm not scared of the backlash anymore. I'm so over that. And I feel like now I can be honest about it because of how hostile the fan base can be. So I was scared of that at first, but I'm not anymore. I'm just saying how I really feel now. I'm not trying to please any of these fanboys. I don't even really want these fanboys watching my channel.
yeah, I feel you on that. And I used to post stuff in the group. They get so mad at me in this Halloween group. I forgot what it was. Halloween, it's something. But they hate when I post in there. They be taking my post down and everything because people be getting so riled up, and they hate me because even like in my comment section on YouTube, like they'll try to get under my skin, but I never let them get under my skin, and they'll just end up agreeing with me or whatever like that and holding the conversation.
Yeah, and I mean they can do that. I mean, it's like this entire excuse me, this entire fan base has been practically proselytized by these YouTubers and these people involved in the film. It's like there's just a lot of proselytizing going on. So that's why you have these fanboys running around rabid, like rabid wolves.
And see, like I think I done got to a point where now I feel like people love. They might not be subscribed to my channel, but I feel like if I drop a Halloween video, they're gonna come and check it out and see what I had to say, because even though most of it be hateful stuff I be saying toward like the movies, they know I be telling the truth with some of the stuff. They be like, "Oh, you got a good point, right here." Because I remember I said something about these other Halloween YouTubers, like with clickbait and stuff, and somebody was in the comment section, they had wrote something long, and they was like, "I agree with you and all these other Halloween YouTubers, but Dave, he's a good guy and all that." So I was just like, "Oh, you agree with me with the other ones, but when I, say something about Dave, you don't like, you disagree with me."
Yeah, and there's one that's really getting on my nerves lately, and when we stop recording, I'll tell you who it is. But there's just been one, and I swear to God, they put a video up every day about things you missed in Halloween Ends trailer, and it's just it's. I think that's what's sparking all the fanboyism.
Yeah, these videos, it's just too much, man. It's too much going on. There's too much hype. That's what, the hype. The hype. I probably wouldn't even hate Halloween Kills as much as I do if it wasn't for the hype.
Yeah, they build so much hype, and then it never lives up to the hype.
You know, I'm really not excited for Halloween Ends, to be honest.
I'm not, and I even said to myself that I wasn't gonna see it, but my girlfriend wants to see it in the theater because she's never seen a Halloween movie in the theater, and I've seen 3 Halloween movies in the theater. So I guess I'll take her to the this is gonna be her first Halloween movie in the theaters. But as far as me just being excited for the film, I'm not excited in the slightest.
Yeah, and I don't think the cast and crew are excited, to be honest. It seems like everything's sloppy. And like I was saying in one of my the trailer reaction video that I did, I feel like the poster, it looks similar to Halloween 2018, but a little bit more lazy. So
Yeah,
people gonna go to the movie theaters and be like, "Oh, they re-showing this Halloween 2018 movie because the poster look exactly like that." So
yeah.
they might just turn around. They'll be like, "Oh, another Halloween movie." It seems like they're doing it every year. They might just be replaying it. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of these movies replay old movies, and it, I don't
They're
know
gonna think that they're like marathoning Halloween.
exactly.
Yeah, that. See, I was not a fan of the Halloween Ends poster. Now, I did really like the Halloween Kills poster. I thought it was creative looking and
Yeah. I love that one. Halloween 2018 poster. I didn't like that. It just
I
seemed lazy.
I was very 50-50 on that poster, but the Kills poster looked really good. In the Ends, it just looks like it's Kills again because there's the amber ashes floating in the air, and I don't know, it just looks kind of lazy.
Yeah, look, they could have did a lot better with that. I don't know why they tried to keep the same symmetry and the same. Switch it up. Like, a cool poster can attract fans from, riding around and looking what they want to see at the movie theater. They'll be like, "Oh, this poster looks cool," but then you got the same poster of Michael Myers looking down in the same spot. Like,
Yeah,
oh, they playing that again. I seen that one on streaming or whatever. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, and I don't. I But the fanboys will all say that it's perfect because this Blumhouse trilogy can do no wrong. Like I'm seeing like I don't know what it is with this standing ovation stuff either. I just don't I don't understand it, man. It's man, I'm actually I am people are putting out videos every single day, whether it be about the poster like we were just talking about, or these theories. It's like why can't you just watch the movie? You know,
Yeah.
but they're already trying to spoil the movie that they know nothing about. They're on here, and these YouTubers and here's potential spoilers. It's like, whoops, sorry. Um, they say it's potential spoilers, and it's like, how do you know it's potential spoilers? And if it's potential spoilers, why would you try to ruin somebody else's experience with the movie? It,
Yeah. Like I never understood that either. It's this guy named Geekdom 101. I don't know if you know him.
I do not.
Yeah, I'm big into Dragon Ball and all that. Not so much now, but when it had resurfaced, I had got back into Dragon Ball. But anyway, he a Dragon Ball YouTuber, and he has another channel where he talk about movies and everything. Like he get leaks and he just like spoils the whole movie like all the time. Like he spoiled the Matrix. He'll put like full spoiler for the Matrix movie or whatever. Like, and I'm like, how can you have a channel and feel good about this? Like spoiling the whole entire movies.
Yeah. Now I did. There was a guy I used to. I do. He doesn't put up much anymore. He goes by the name of Fan Man, and he does like other stuff. I'm into like comic books and stuff. But he's a huge Halloween fan. But he actually read the entire leaked script of Halloween Kills, and it was for people like him that weren't interested in seeing Halloween Kills. And people got mad at him, but people also had to understand that he stated that this is for people that are not going to see Halloween Kills because they have no interest in it. Which I wasn't really all that interested in Halloween Kills, so I did watch it. So I did know a lot of the stuff that was going to happen in the movie, and it didn't bother me because I just was so disconnected from it. But
Yeah. When the script leaked or whatever, I didn't go searching for it. But when did the script leak before or after they delayed the movie?
uh, I don't remember. I think it was after they delayed the movie.
Yeah, so once they delayed the movie, I was like, I don't care about it. So I looked up the script and I read it and I was like, oh, it sound awful. And
Yeah,
um and I was just like, it is what it is. And you had people like Phantom Empire saying that, oh, this movie is gonna be massive, it's gonna be great and all that, but come to
yeah,
find out, they really didn't like it. They did a lot of boosting up these fans too. They was promoting this Halloween Kill stuff.
they said it was going to be a big movie. It wasn't a big movie.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, they hype these movies, and that original Halloween film, that movie was so rich thematically that it didn't have to take a bunch of people to tell you how to feel in order for this movie to still be an immortal classic 40 years later. This movie doesn't try to tell you how to feel. It gives you what it gives you, and you kind of just develop your own feeling towards the movie. Like you know what the movie's about. It's about evil and whatnot, and it can exist anywhere. But it doesn't beat you over the head like these new Halloween films do. And the thing about beating them over the head is they do it before the movie even comes out throughout the marketing. Oh, this is going to be a big movie. And then when Halloween ends, oh, this is going to make a lot of people angry and it's going to make people emotional. It's like they're telling you what to feel. They're
Do you
not
do
letting you.
exactly? Do you think that they stopped Jamie Lee Curtis from, you notice that she hasn't been really talking and campaigning. She was a little bit before the reshoots, but after the reshoots she been real quiet and not saying as much.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with that. I wonder what's up with that no other Halloween YouTuber is going to talk about.
Yeah, dude. I think something went down during the reshoots. Like they reshot a lot, I think, and it was something significant. maybe they reshot the whole Corey situation stuff. Maybe that wasn't even incorporated into that storyline, and then they just decided, hey, let's go do this.
Yeah, let's go through with this really really controversial decision that might divide the fan base. And Jamie Lee was even coming out and saying that this is going to be probably the most divisive. And when I read that, I was like, it's going to be more divisive than Kills, really? So that means I'm probably not going to like Ends.
Yeah.
If it's going to be more divisive than Kills, I'm probably not going to like it. In fact, Halloween Ends has potential to make me appreciate Kills more. Because when Kills came out, I still hate Halloween 2018. I still think it's the second worst movie in the franchise. But it made me appreciate 2018 a little bit more. I will give it that.
Yeah, it did for me too. I was like, okay, maybe I can live with Halloween 2018 because I hated that movie.
You hated, yeah, you hated 2018. Yeah, I came out wanting to. I was so just drained by the end of it because I wanted to love Halloween 2018. Like I wanted to love it, and I even convinced myself that I did for a good little while. And I'm like, I've watched the movie a few more times. I'm like, I really don't love it at all. I was like, I think Resurrection is better than this. Halloween 5, Halloween 6 are all better than this. But these fanboys, like I always found funny about the fanboys that they shit on 5, Resurrection, Part 6, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and it's fine to shit on those movies. But if you shit on 2018 and Kills, and when Ends comes out, it'll be the same thing. Then that's when they attack you. That's what I find funny.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, if you post something in Facebook about this new trilogy, they'll jump on you. But as soon as you say something about, Halloween 5, it's all fun and giggles and everybody getting along, or Resurrection sucks and everybody be laughing and agreeing with you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But before we start wrapping things up here, I want to ask you a question. Before we start shutting things off here, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Um, do you think that if Halloween Ends surprisingly is good, do you think that it could change how you feel about 2018 and Kills? Or
No, because they already done brought in Corey Cunningham, who we haven't heard of. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, this dude is gonna play a significant part, and this is the last movie, and we haven't heard nothing from him in 2018 or Halloween Kills, and then it's a 4-year time skip for whatever reason. So, um, why did it have to be a 4-year time skip? It could have been a 6-month time skip, or it doesn't have to be on Halloween at this point.
yeah, it's not like it feels like Halloween, anyways.
Because at this point, we don't know that Michael Myers is. We don't even know if he care about killing on Halloween. He was locked up. He was transported on Halloween. So it just so happened he broke out because he was transferred.
That means that something supernatural is going on here. Something almost cult-like is going on to trigger him off on Halloween. That means there's got to be something like that going on here.
Exactly.
Whether it be a cult, or which I don't think they're going to do. If they do, they'd be stupid to do that. Or which I think is funny. I've heard that said a lot, and they bitch about that in Halloween 6, but for Halloween Ends, they'd be fine with it, which is more fanboy hypocrisy. But yeah, that means there's got to be some kind of supernatural thing to trigger off Michael on Halloween. I mean, like, what's he gonna be like? I hear this thing, cave dweller. This working title, cave dweller. What the hell is that all about? Like, we don't know if he's living out in the woods. From my understanding, he's probably going to be living in a sewer. And as far,
which is crazy.
yeah, and as far as Corey Cunningham, from what I've heard, she's people's sources, which I'm taking with a pinch of salt, that he's supposed to be Allison's boyfriend or new boyfriend.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like apparently that's supposed to be his boyfriend or whatever, her boyfriend. But my thing is like, with Michael Myers still living in Haddonfield or in the sewer or whatever, you still have the police department supposed to be searching for him. They got the dogs. You got so much technology, you can find Michael Myers.
Yeah, even if he was living out in the woods, if he just orchestrated a manhunt, you'd find him out in the woods if he was living in the woods. You could find him. You could get his scent. But no, they won't. They don't do that because they don't think when they write these movies. And it's just they write these scripts and it's just like they're not thinking. It's just it almost feels like Michael Myers has plot armor throughout the whole thing, where like he's just unaffected by anything bad that should happen to him in these new movies. Like
Yeah.
at least in the old Halloween movies, he did get his ass kicked a few times. And what else I find is funny before we start wrapping things up, isn't it funny that Michael was able to in these new movies able to take out, and I guess I shouldn't say new movies because this was kind of a thing in H2O, but Michael's able to take out all these like strong firemen and police officers and the angry mob and all that, but he can't beat up Laurie Strode.
Or for that matter, Allison when he had her one on one.
Yeah. He only killed Karen because he snuck up behind her when she wasn't expecting it.
And somebody mentioned something too, like how come it is like all these men are getting killed, but the women are surviving? Like they're making the point,
It's
you know.
it's almost like feminist propaganda or something.
It's definitely in these movies. There's no denying that.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like these characters, like in the original film, right? You had characters like Annie and Linda and Bob and all them. They felt like real characters, where these characters in these new movies, they just are stand-ins for political ideology, and I don't think that belongs in a Halloween movie.
Yeah. Hey, one thing. I'm gonna wrap this up with you. But they said that Corey Cunningham, I guess, was accused of killing this little kid. Now they did say, or I seen somewhere where Julian was coming back. I guess I would like it if they would kill Julian in that way. Michael Myers killed Julian, and or Corey kills Julian. I feel like that'd be a big surprise for the audience.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting. I mean, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Julian as it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like him at all. Bad actor.
Yeah, he really is a bad actor, but I'd be fine with that. I don't think that's what they're gonna do. I'm sure it's gonna be just some random kid but I don't know. I guess we won't know till we see. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. Uh, I'll let you know who it was I was talking about once we get off, not off air, but off recording here. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Uh, well, tuning in, clicking on the video, and watching it. Uh, Definitely would have to do something like this again. So if you guys liked it, hit that like, subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out. Peace.